Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and start the meeting today. Due to the governor's order, all members of the Public Assembly Facilities Commission are participating virtually. For virtual meetings, commission members will be muted until asked to be heard. At that time, they will be recognized and will be unmuted. When there is a vote, it will be necessary to take a roll call vote. A commission member will be recognized and will raise their hand and state their vote. Today's meeting is a public meeting. Citizens can listen to the meeting if they contacted the city manager's office to make the necessary arrangements. The meeting will also be live streamed on the city's YouTube channel. A recording of today's meeting will be available on Friday, October 22nd, 2021 on the city's website. Again, thank you everyone for joining us today. And Rachel, we'll start with a roll call.
Okay. Haley.
Present.
Otis. Billy.
Here.
Manya. Kathleen. Vicky.
Here.
And Ray. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Our first two items today, of course, need approval, so we will skip those until we receive a quorum, but we will start with the report on the 2021 Carolina Classic Fair. Cheryl, you're muted.
There. Sorry about that. Overall, I want to just kind of go over the attendance and the financial results for the fair. Overall, I think it was a great success considering all of our challenges with COVID and the restrictions and just the attendance in general. The Carolina Classic Fair ended this year with a 37.72% decrease in attendance compared to the 2019 fair, where we had 292,321 visitors in 2019. The final attendance this year was 182,048, just also 34.6% below the previous 5-year average attendance. Our advanced sale admissions were down 65.59% from 2019. Those tickets were available this year at the Winston-Salem team store, as well as offering the online print at home and mobile device sales. Our advanced sale ride redemptions were at 98.78% of those purchased, reflecting the good weather that we had on that last Sunday. That's typically when the remainder of our advanced sale is used. There was one Wake Forest football game played on the first Saturday during the fair, and it had somewhat of a negative impact on the fair attendance due to the increased parking charge and traffic concerns. This year, our total admission revenue decreased compared to last year, mirroring the decrease in the paid attendance. The fair generated $771,870 in unaudited gate and advanced sale admissions. That represented a decrease from the 2019 fair of $1.243 million. The gross admission revenue estimate that will be reduced by about 7%, approximately $50,100. That's due to the sales tax mandated by the North Carolina General Assembly. That started back, I think, in 2017, where we have to pay the sales tax on all admission revenue or all admission sales. The fair continued a ticket initiative with Ticketmaster to sell the barcoded tickets that were scanned at the gate for admission. The box office staff worked again with the carnival to place the wristband redemption centers at each public gate to redeem the advanced sale ride cards and wristbands. This continues to work well with us as it adjusts our lines, and it eliminates having to go to the midway to wait in another long line to get the wristband. Ticketmaster and Straight Show is essential to maintain ticket security of the box office growth of carnival sales and the fair percentage. Straight Shows paid the fair this year $777,424 in their percentage from their the according to contract. This amount represents, excuse me, a 24.04% decrease in carnival revenue compared to 2019 fair, which was $990,399. This year, straight shows, advanced sale, we offered two new options, the $25 weekday wristband and the $40 weekend wristband. Even with the decrease in sales, this helped us overall in distributing advanced sale traffic to our less crowded weekdays. The carnival increased the everyday wristband to $45, but continued our three discounted $35 wristbands. To finish out our sponsorships, we had over $80,650,000 in revenue from our fair sponsorships this year. The Winston-Salem Police Department reported very few criminal incidents at the fair. Credit goes to the number of officers deployed and the experienced supervisors, the support and cooperation by straight shows. It did show a strong commitment by the Winston-Salem Police Department. They did a great job. Our attractions and entertainment were generally very popular. The country concert on Tuesday evening in the grandstand helped drive additional attendance by those who came through the gate to see the concert. The Monday night concert was Color Me Bad and Tag Team. That was presented by WQMG. About 1,000 people came to that show. On the Tuesday concert, which was Walker Hayes and Alan Cooper, we had about 3,000 attended that. Now, that was sponsored by 93.1 The Wolf. And then our final concert, which was around 1,500 people that attended, that was Andrew Ripp and Baylor Wilson concert. The radio sponsor, WBFJ, they did a great job with their concert promoting as usual. They pretty much take full control and they even handle the catering, rider and provisions for the fair. Of course, the demolition derby and figure eight races and the rodeo, they continue to be very popular. The rodeo this year, they had more attendees and more riders, and we had quite a bit of an increase in spectators during those days. The Winston-Salem Chronicle, they continued to sponsor the Gospel Fest in the Clock Tower on the first Sunday. And then we added something a little bit new this year with the Jazz Fest on the second Sunday. I think that went over very well. It was very well received. The Hispanic League radio station Lale sponsored our Hispanic Heritage Night on the Clock Tower on Friday, the first Friday, with a coordination of the Hispanic groups and advertising. Again, the Camel City Showcase featured many popular local artists on both Saturdays, and a diverse range of local and regional talents filled the rest of those days. This year, the wine tasting in the Yesteryear Village, it was very popular. We did have a couple of days where the wineries did cancel due to COVID precautions, but 1,062 people who participated in the tastings. We sold, there was 264 glasses of wine sold and 338 bottles of wine were purchased by fair guests this year. This year, our newly formed beer garden, which went over very well, sold 5,051 beers. This effort promotes the growing and importance of the local agriculture industry. The fair this year, our souvenir sales, we sold a good amount of merchandise, about 589 pieces, ranging from caps, lapel pins, t-shirts, and that resulted in about $8,208, which is actually a 1,200% increase over 2018. That was before. In 2019, a lot of the previous fair logo merchandise sold very well in 19. This year, the fair offered many discounted options, including advanced sale discount admission, wristband and ride card program, our $5 welcome back promotion, on opening day actually helped increase attendance from 2019. So we did see that as a good success. The early bird special, in which 7,721 fair visitors participated in the $5 admission on the weekdays between 11 and 4. This year, our crisis control food day, it was on Wednesday. It offered free admission for over 4,815 visitors, and they brought in over 15,191 pounds of food. That's an appreciated collection valued at approximately $40,455, which will fill the food pantries and provide food for the right people right here in Forsyth County. Our Military Day, sponsored by WXII, it offered free admission to all active duty veterans and their immediate families, along with a Toys for Tot partnership. And of course, to finish it out, the Winston-Salem Journal Family Fun Days on the last weekend offered free children's admission and pay one price Kittyland rides to promote on those days during the fair, allowing over 4,205 people the unlimited opportunity to enjoy many rides as they wanted for the discounted price. I know that was a lot of information. Quickly, does anyone have any questions on it? Overall, even with the weather, it did play a big portion of our problems, but I think that the community in general appreciated us coming back this year and providing some great entertainment. And I think a lot of people had a really good time. Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl, for that.
You're welcome.
We'll go ahead into the staff update. So could we do Bowman Gray Stadium, and then also while we're there, just Winston-Salem State football?
Sure. Rachel, could you pull open the PowerPoint for Bowman Gray? So good afternoon, everyone. Wanted to give the commission an update on where we are with the Bowman Gray Stadium Improvements Project. And Robert, you can chime in because you've been more closely involved than I have, but I've just got a few pictures that I wanted to share with you all. So if you'll click the next slide there, Rachel. So we really have finished all the buildings and demolished all the buildings. And the remaining phase that's left of the project is resurfacing the racetrack. So the slides we'll show you here in a moment. Just give you some pictures.
Sorry, my computer froze. Hold on, let me try again.
Alrighty. For those of you who've attended either a race or a football game, you've seen the progress so far. I say we're really excited about the look, the buildings, and wrapping up this project. Rachel, would it be better? Okay, there you go. We can work off of that. So that right there is the west side concession stand. It mirrors the east side concession stand that has been in operation since the beginning of racing season. So that stand is online. It's been operating for the last couple of football games. And then the next slide there is the west side restroom. Again, it mirrors the one on the east side. If you recall, we've got now an increase in the number of fixtures for women, which was very much needed with the restrooms we previously had, and we've not experienced any water pressure issues, which was also a priority for this project. So all four of those buildings are now online. The next slide there. Just want to share with you that obviously the football field is done. And then I think you've gotten a lot of compliments about the field. Of course, even from that view, it's hard to see and then know just how much the contractor peeled off to regrade the field and then the resod it. But it just looks, I think, just great. And we've received a lot of positive feedback about that. And then lastly, just this was part of the plan. So if you go to an event there here anytime soon, you know, there on the pictures there on your right, the restroom that's down the steps on the west side there behind the west side press box, that's gone. That was part of the plan all along. You can see there in the upper right-hand corner, concession stand number 2, which is at the south end of the stadium there beside the south entrance, it's gone. And then on the east side, stand number 1 and the east side restroom have all been demolished. And so, you know, we really look at those spaces, particularly where stand 1 and stand 2 were, you know, as opportunities to add, you know, vendors either for, you know, the university or for racing. Also, you know, food trucks. So that's what we'll be looking at here in the coming months, working with both of those groups. If you look at that stand 2 footprint, we're going to install a little more asphalt, you know, on that site to activate it a little bit more for vendor use. Anyway, it's very much a different look now. You know, having those older buildings demolished, but that's where we stand. The fixed back seats have been installed. The flooring in the field house is installed. If I had a chance to take some pictures of that, I would have shared that with you all. So really the only phase that's left is resurfacing the racetrack. And the plan is for the contractor to start working on that towards the end of October, so that we can, you know, hopefully avoid some, you know, harsh winter months and get, you know, as much of it done as we can, so that there will be time for the track to cure before they start racing on it. You know, probably towards late March when they start practicing, and then obviously start racing in mid-April. Robert, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, you covered the meat of it. So just to Ben's point, most of it's done, the racetrack's left, and then there's really smaller items. The city will be installing Wi-Fi into the press box and a hardwired internet, which that facility has never had. It won't be available for the public, but it'll just be for the media and for the staff working. And there'll be just some other touch-up pieces with landscaping and some of the asphalt stuff. So really, it's just kind of touching up from here. And as we go through an event like we did this past week with Winston-Salem State, you know, we see a few more things that we can find improvement on and that we have an opportunity to correct. So I think other than that, we're in good shape and we're excited to see it end.
I will share with the commission that we know that in the state budget that's still in discussion, that there are funds for assistance to the motorsport industry. The last time I looked at the legislation, I think the General Assembly was going to appropriate maybe about $45 million that'd be split between the 3 major tracks in the state, Charlotte, Rockingham, and Wilkesboro. And then there would be money allocated for the smaller tracks throughout the state. And there'll be an application process that those tracks would have to go through. And it is our intent that we would apply for those, you know, for allocation of those funds. So if we receive that, you know, we will be working closely with the Winston-Salem Speedway Inc. team on those funds, since it is directed towards motorsports. But I think that, you know, whatever we end up doing, I feel sure will have benefit, you know, for the whole stadium. So there may be some future capital funds available to us, and we'll keep you updated on that.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions, commissioners? All right, we'll move on to the shuttered venue operators grant.
I'll take that one. Thank you, Chair Jingles. So as we talked about in last quarter's meeting, or last month's meeting, I think even the one before that, the fairgrounds did get awarded $606,000 in SFOG funds for fairgrounds activity, not related to the fair. And then since then, they came out with a supplemental grant where we can apply for 50% more of that grant further, so another $300,000, and we have gone ahead and applied for that. So we're just waiting to hear back. Of that second phase, I would think we feel pretty good about getting that, but I guess we're going to wait and see. That's all I have on SFOG.
Thank you, Robert. Fairgrounds operations, preparations for the ice season.
Yeah, so as Cheryl just went through the fair, we went straight from the fair right into making ice. So we started building the ice rink on Tuesday following the fair. Dimitri and his team got in there, started putting the boards down, did a great job getting that down. And then this past weekend, we started putting the ice down. All the logos are in, and today we'll start kind of flooding, as we call it, where you flood small layers at a time to build up an inch thick of ice. And then we expect to have the Thunderbirds on the ice for their first skate Thursday afternoon. And then the ice rink should be open to the public on Saturday afternoon, assuming all goes according to plan. So staff here has done a great job with all the time and effort they've put in from fair to ice skating. So we'll be hopefully beyond that threshold this weekend and have a smooth ice season from there.
Perfect. Thank you, Robert. We'll head to the Benton and the Gallery Ballroom.
Good afternoon. So the Benton had a subpar September. We were missed revenue by about $18,000 from the budget, but taking into account that we had $201,000 in cancellations, I think that was pretty good that we got that close there. So we're still seeing some cancellations to the end of the year, but things are looking forward for 2022. We're signing some good stuff for the first quarter. So we're excited about that. Obviously, we're still on a skeleton crew here at the Benton. We still are being cautious in who we hire and how many employees we have, just because we don't want to go through the layoffs again. So we will start to ramp up again after December. We will in December close what is Benton North, which is the main building right after Christmas in the city, and we will be putting down all new carpet in Benton North. This was a insurance claim. The carpet faded from the original renovation in 2017, so the company is having to replace it at their cost. So it's a cost of about $750,000 to replace all the pre-function carpet, take it up, put new carpet down, and they will be doing that work starting, I think it's like the 18th or 19th of December and finishing on the 6th of January. So that's a big time project that we'll have going on there, but it's good because we have 10 more years of brand new carpet. So that is good and under warranty. So we can go over to the gallery in Benton South. We're right about 97% done over there. We're still putting in some internet, still have some locks, and we still have some punch list items still to be done over there. We will have a group checking in there on this Thursday. We did use it for campus activities, which was a small bit of meeting space, but we will actually be using the gallery ballroom starting this week and going through middle of next week. So it has events in there Thursday through Wednesday in the new space. So we're excited about that. I believe Ben might have some photos that he's going to share of that in a little bit, but most of the yard's up. The tunnel is not complete yet. We're still, that should be in the next couple weeks. I think that'll get started. So, so any questions on the Benton and Benton South? I know Ben will share some pictures on the yard.
Yeah, Rachel, if you'll pull that up for us. So as Grant mentioned and alluded to, we no longer refer to those spaces as the Grand Pavilion Conference Center. City staff and HVMG and Visit Winston-Salem been working together over the last several weeks on coming up with a new brand, if you will. And the new name of the Grand Pavilion now is, Rachel, next slide. The Gallery Ballroom at the Benton, and as Grant referred to it, stated we're referring to that overall space down there, not just the ballroom, but the conference rooms as Benton South. So so here from now on going forward, when we say probably Benton North, we're talking about the convention center proper. When we talk about the Benton South, we're talking about the gallery and the conference rooms down there under the Embassy Suites. So you go to the next slide, Rachel. So the gallery ballroom, if you remember there on your left is the rendering when we were going through the design process there with the new carpet, the new light fixtures, the whole new painting scheme kind of brightened the space. And you look there on your right, that's what it actually looks like right now. So we are just absolutely excited about it. You can see that the columns are a little bit darker. But I mean, the light fixtures on the wall, I'll have another picture here in a moment. You can see we've removed a lot of we removed the mirrors, a lot of that old glass. So we really feel like this is an even more finished looking space. Go to the next slide. It's just another picture there. If you remember there on your left, you've got those mirrors, the chair railing there. You can see the carpet, and now you can see how those features have been replaced with, those. You can see those kind of brown rectangles there. Just very, very pleased with. I mean, truly, it is a refresh of the space. Next slide. So looking at if you can visualize coming in to this area from the tunnel, as you go down the hallway, like you're going towards the ballroom there on your right, you can, if you take a turn there, you're going towards the Big House Games ballroom. This is the pre-function space. Here before, it was just kind of, I think it was hard flooring, and now we've replaced it with the carpet, similar pattern. You could say that the paint scheme, the trim work, all ties together. Just very, very excited about that. Again, we call this Benton South. Then Big House Gaines Ballroom, there on your left again, that's what it looked like before. A lot of glass, chandeliers, that type of thing. And now you can see how it looks now. Again, just ties it all together. The lighting, I think, is improved. And so, again, we're just very, very excited about the overall results of this project. Next slide. And then the meeting rooms, all the meeting rooms most of the meeting rooms, I think, got a facelift there. So you can see Arbor 1, Arbor 2, which those rooms are on your right, on your left, as you're coming into Benton South from the convention center. Those will be on your left. Ayers is right there immediately on your right. Again, just, I think the carpet patterns, the paint scheme, everything just kind of brightens the space, the improved lighting. So we really are just excited about, what we're going to be able to hopefully attract in terms of groups in the coming, months and years, really. Next slide. And then Grant alluded to the public art. There are a number of pieces that the Public Art Commission commissioned to have made. These are just a few of the pieces that have been installed right now. They're all local Winston-Salem artists. There, the one on your left is on the wall as you go into the into the Benton South space, the one in the middle. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's a really neat mural that's on the wall there next to the entrance into the gallery ballroom. We're really, really excited about that one, just because number one, it's a different material. You know, we tried to approach the selection of the art very similar to what we did with the Benton. So it's not all paintings, it's different media that were used here. And this one, I think, has got tile as part of the mural. So we really were excited about the diversity that's represented in that mural. And, you know, everybody's walking towards the gallery ballroom, which we thought was kind of neat. And then this third picture here on your right, Grant and I were just learning about this on Friday. You know, just interesting colors. I think with the gray, with the kind of neutral colors there on that wall, these colors really stand out. But we learned that the artist, that those three pieces actually represent intersections in the city. Or locations in the city. And I can't remember which one of the two on the far left there. One of them represents 5 points. And then
with the pink square is the 5 points one.
That's the 5 points one, okay. And I can't remember what the middle piece represents. And then the nearest piece there on the right is, I think, the neighborhood of the artist. And I think the artist's home is the little red rectangle there in that green rectangle. So there's already another piece that's been installed. Grant has sent me the picture. I just didn't get a chance to put it in here, but it's a wood piece. And I wouldn't do justice to describe it. You know, hopefully we'll be able to take you all on a tour, you know, very soon and really show off the space to you. But we're excited about the artwork that we have in there and just the overall, you know, results of this project. Next, I think that might be it. Is that it? Yeah. So, any questions? Okay. Then the last staff updates, the Trua Stadium lease agreements. So the council and finance committee in September reviewed final modifications to the lease agreement with the Winston-Salem Dash for Trua Stadium. If you recall, they initially approved an agreement back in February this year, and which significantly reduced the lease payment that the team would have to make. And that was really the main change there. But as we started the process of working through the actual changes to the agreement, some additional modifications were needed. And so staff took those modifications back to council for their review in September. Those mainly focused on the letter of credit that the Dash would be required to maintain, and we just need to adjust it to make it more consistent with the lease payments that they were going to make. There was some language in there regarding insurance to make sure that both sides had sufficient insurance, and there was a clear understanding of whose insurance would be in effect during, you know, whenever the team's playing ball versus when the city, you know, may hold an event in the stadium. And then another significant modification was language that Major League Baseball had required be included in the agreement, just establishing how the Professional Development League, which is kind of what the entity is that the minor league teams operate under, how the team interacts with that and how that connects with the stadium. So that the agreements, as well as an economic development incentive agreement that was also approved as part of this whole stadium development. Council approved those modifications, but under state law, we had to hold a public hearing. Council did that at the first meeting here in October. So everything's been approved. Both the attorneys for both sides, I hope, are putting the finishing touches on the agreement, and we're really, really close to having those agreements ready for execution. The other big item that's on the horizon, we know that Major League Baseball is requiring a number of minor league stadiums to make investments to improve their facilities. The Dash were fortunate to be selected by Major League Baseball to have a special facility assessment done to identify what is needed to meet Major League Baseball's facility requirements. I'm hoping that we'll receive that report here before the end of the year so that we can start discussions with the Dash about how we'll proceed with making whatever recommendations have been made, that we develop a plan for how we move forward with making that happen, because we'll have, my understanding is we'll have 3 years to make those upgrades in order to comply with Major League Baseball's requirements. So happy to answer any questions about Trua Stadium.
Doesn't look like we have any questions. Ben, thank you for that update. That's cool information. It looks like we did not get a quorum today. Is that correct, Rachel?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, so we will hold the items for vote, which are just our minutes for the last couple of meetings. We can hold those until the next meeting. Our next meeting is going to be November 15th. You'll get information about that shortly. And if there's nothing else, then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
you.
Appreciate it.